to Craig's Gun Channel. In this video, we're going to go ahead and do a field strip of the Henry Repeating Arms AR7 Survival Rifle. So let's go ahead and get to it. And we have here the Henry Repeating Arms AR7 Survival Rifle. This is a takedown rifle. You have the barrel assembly here, the receiver, and the rear stock. Now the way that this was intended to function is the receiver will come out of the disengage or detach from the stock. The barrel can detach from the receiver, and then it all fits inside the stock here. So we'll go ahead and take a look at all that in just a moment. First, we'll go ahead and do a safety check, make sure we are free and clear of all ammunition. You want to make sure you do that before ever working or really looking at any firearm. So first, this is the magazine release right here. It has like a little serrated edge that's inside the trigger guard, and you would just push forward on that, and that would release the magazine. So you push forward, and the magazine will come out. And as we can see, the magazine is free and clear. And go ahead and open up the chamber. And we can see the chamber area is also free and clear. There's no ammunition. We are safe to begin the disassembly procedure. First, remove the receiver from the stock. Now to do that, there's a little thumb screw right here in the base of the pistol grip portion of the stock. And you just kind of turn that counterclockwise. Until that comes out. And this is the stock itself. And if we take a look, you can see where that screw is there. That engages into the bottom of the receiver. The butt cap itself pops off. So go ahead. And on the inside, this is where you can slide all the components. So we'll go ahead and set that aside for right now. So the receiver, there's a little hole right there. That's where that bolt would go into. So we'll take a look at the removing the barrel. Now the barrel is retained with this barrel retaining nut right here. And you just basically unthread that. I am holding in on the barrel just there'll be spring pressure a little bit from the bolt. So once that's loose, this comes out. And this is now the receiver. Now on the inside, we have the bolt face. As we can see, this one actually needs to be cleaned. It's from where I took it out for the range testing. I haven't cleaned it yet. So one of the things Henry did with these that's different from the prior version of the AR7, with the prior version of the AR7, to remove the bolt, you had to remove the side plate over here. And the reason for that is because the ejector, which is inside, which we'll go ahead and pull the bolt back here. You can see the ejector. You can just barely see it. It's right in there. Yeah, there you can see it. The ejector would actually engage the slot that's on the bolt, but the slot in the bolt for the ejector to ride in didn't go all the way through, so it actually would hold the bolt in place. With the current version, if you push in on the bolt a little bit, you can disengage the charging handle, like so, and the bolt assembly will come out, as will the springs and the guide rod. Guide rod assembly has a notch in it. You have to, straighten it out so it'll come out. So it has a notch in it, which will allow the hammer assembly on the inside to pass through. This is the slot where the hammer would go. There's the firing pin. Those are our recoil springs. There is our extractor right there. This is the slot that the ejector rides in, and as you can see, it goes all the way through, and that is what allows the bolt to now come out. That simple addition of milling that slot all the way through is actually a great addition that Henry made to this design, because it allows you to fully field strip this without tearing into the actual internal portion here. Once you remove that side plate, everything is just, you got springs in there, you got the trigger, the hammer, the sear, everything else, and it's a lot more likely for parts to come flying out. You would only really need to open all that stuff up if you really, really needed to clean out the inside, because as it is, you have quite a bit of access to everything in the inside here to clean it all out. There's that ejector. You can see it a little bit easier now. Boy, my lighting is terrible today. Yeah, right there. So this is as far as you would really need to disassemble any of this. You have access to everything at this point to clean it. And reassembly is pretty much just the opposite. So we'll go ahead and put our springs in. So the springs go on those guide rods. On the bolt assembly, with the firing pin facing up, well, we'll do it this way. With the firing pin facing down, you have the notch there. You want the notch in your recoil spring assembly to also be in the same orientation. So it goes like this. And at this point, with the receiver on its top, and see if I can show on the inside there. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see that. You basically need to slide it so that the ejector that's sticking up will go into the notch that's in the guide rods and into the notch in the bolt until it goes into its engagement notch all the way through. So you just kind of slide all that in. Then once it's engaged, you just push it back to where the hole where the charging handle goes aligns with the corresponding opening. And it's reassembled. Now the way that this goes inside, you can first put a magazine in the receiver. The receiver then goes front first, just like that. The barrel goes right here, and there's a little notch you can see where the front sight would go, just like that. Then there's room for extra magazines. Just like that. And then you can put the butt cap on. And we're now in our stowed position, ready to put into a backpack and go out for some exploring in the wilderness. Now once you have the AR7 in its stowed position, to assemble it into its ready-to-use configuration, first you open up the cap on the back. You can then remove the barrel, remove your magazine or magazines. It actually will hold two. Remove the receiver, put your butt cap back on. With the receiver, you want to make sure you are free and clear of all ammunition. So obviously there's none in the chamber because the chamber's not even attached, so there's no ammunition there. Remove the magazine, it's empty as well. Engage the barrel into the receiver. Now there's a pin on the barrel that aligns with a corresponding notch on the receiver, and that's to index it in the proper orientation. Then you can thread the nut on. And tighten that down. At some point you can push in on the barrel. Or you can just tighten the nut down and it would pull it in tight. But then tighten it down. You don't want to go, crazy with it, but tighten it down to where it's fully engaged. At this point, you have the hole that's in the bottom of the receiver, and it will engage the bolt that's right here. So you slide it together, and then you can start to turn that thumb screw in and tighten it down till it's snug. There again, you don't have to go crazy tightening it down, and it's all assembled. And insert your magazine, and there we go. I hope that this information is of value, and if you like the video, I would ask that you hit the like button and subscribe if you want to continue to see more like this. I value your comments and feedback, and as always, until next time, stay safe.